Hello students, welcome to my video. In this video we are going to see really an interesting prose. I hope you will enjoy it. Okay, how many of you like to drink tea? Do you like to drink tea? If you ask me the question, I would say certainly, because according to me, tea is a power of energy for the common man. And if you are cold, tea will warm you. If you are heated, it will cool you. If you are depressed, it will cheer you. If you are excited, it will calm you. Really, tea is like that. Sometimes it could be meal for some kind of people in our country. So I think you would have guessed what we are going to see in this video. Of course, it is about tea. What is tea exactly? Basically, it is a drink made from the dried leaves of a plant that only grows in hot countries. In our state, we could see tea leaves in many places like Ooty and Kodaikanal. Today, the British drink more tea than any other nation, an average of 4 kilos a head per annum, or 1650 cups of tea a year. There are two kinds of tea, afternoon tea and high tea. Afternoon tea takes place between 3:30 and 4:30 and consists of tea, bread, butter and jam, followed by cakes and biscuits. Whereas high tea, however, is a substantial meal and is eaten between 5:30 and 6:30 by families which do not usually have a late dinner. In a well-to-do family, it will consist of ham or tongue and tomatoes and salad, or a kipper, or a tinned salmon with strong tea, bread and butter, followed by stewed fruit or tinned peas, apricots or pineapple with the cream or custard and cake. This is how all over the people in the world take their tea in their own style. Let's see the history of tea. Tea was originally found in China. Tea was discovered when tea leaves accidentally fell into the boiling water of China's second emperor Shen Nung in 2737 BC. The emperor drank from his water and he was surprised by its taste and healing abilities. He found that tea can be used as an antidote. The emperor performed experiments on himself to learn about tea's properties. This is what the history of tea. In the world, many people can use different types of tea. You also can learn some kinds of tea here: black tea, green tea, white tea, herbal tea, oolong tea, Smurf's blood, wizard's tea, mountain dew, relicia, and etc. So this prose entitled A Nice Cup of Tea, written by George Orwell. This video will give you a nice recipe of how to prepare a nice cup of tea. Before we discuss it, let us know about the author. George Orwell was born on 25th June 1903 at Modihari in Bengal in India. He died on 24th January in 1950. His real name is Eric Arthur Blair. His occupations. His occupation was taken by him in many genres, like novelist. He used to be a novelist, political writer, and journalist. The greatness of the author George Orwell lies in the fact that we sit here reviewing an article that he wrote for Standard Evening exactly 72 years ago. Okay, let's start our prose. Tea is one of the mainstays of civilization in England, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. Remember, in all these countries, tea is one of the mainstays of civilization. Of course, in India also. The author looks through his own recipe for the perfect cup of tea. He finds 11 outstanding points which he regards as golden. So there are 11 golden rules made by the author George Orwell so as to prepare a nice cup of tea. One of the rules. Let's see here. Rule number 1. One should use Indian or Ceylonese tea. First of all, one should use Indian or Ceylonese tea. Indian tea makes one feel wiser, braver, or optimistic after drinking it. China tea is cheaper, but one does not feel more optimistic after drinking it. Anyone who has used that comforting phrase, a nice cup of tea, invariably means Indian tea. Rule number 2. Tea should be made in small quantities, that is, in a teapot. Of course, tea should always be made in small quantities. Also, the teapot should be made of china or earthenware, and the vessel which is made by earthenware. So, in that we should have tea whenever we like to drink tea, because the author says having tea kind of vessels like earthenware and china pot, it would be more tasty and it would give kind of feeling of drinking tea. If not, then a pewter teapot is also fine. So we should not have tea in silver pot or some other teapots. It would not be such a feeling for us when we like to have tea. Rule number 3. Warm teapot. If you go to tea shop for buying tea, first the tea master would wash your vessel with hot water. Do you know why? In order to make the teapot hot, so that it contain the tea till the end of consumed the tea by the drinker. The tea could be kept hot. So the master would do this always. Likewise, the author also says, that the teapot should be warmed beforehand. This should be done by placing it on the hob. So the stove, on the top of the stove you could find the hob. So the tea should be done by placing it on the hob. Rule number 4. One strong cup of tea is better than 20 weak ones. The tea should be fairly strong. For example, if you are going to fill up a 1 liter container till the brim, you should need You need to put 6 teaspoons of tea in it. The author also mentioned that he prefers one strong cup of tea rather than 20 weak ones. So students, I think you could understand what the author likes to have, strong cup of tea. How many of you like to have strong cup of tea? Some may not, because many people like to have light tea, that would give kind of taste. But the author says, and he likes to have strong cup of tea, and rather than 20 weak ones. Rule number 5. Tea should be put straight into the teapot, no strainer. Strainer in the sense filter. The tea should be put straight into the cup. There should be no strainers or muslin bags. The author also mentions that one can swallow tea leaves in considerable amounts. As you don't use strainer, the tea leaves can be let at the bottom of the teacup. So you can enjoy and swallow tea leaves in considerable amount, and you can feel the real taste of the tea. Rule number 6. One should take the teapot to the kettle and not the other way about. So in the second picture you could see a vessel like mug in red color. That is called kettle. So the author says one should take the teapot to the kettle and not the other way about. The tea should be boiling at the moment when the tea is being transferred from the teapot to the cup, so that we can have the tea hot. So tea almost is to be, what is that? It would be hot and tasty when at the moment is being transferred from the teapot to the cup. Rule number 7. Stir or shake it. Enhance flavor. In order to enhance flavor, you have to stir or shake the tea. After the tea is ready, the teapot should be shaken or stirred, and then the leaves should be allowed to settle down. This, according to the author, enhances the flavor of the tea. But no one is ready to do this, because we people, especially Indian people, like to filter, and they don't like to allow the tea leaves at the bottom of the tea. We feel kind of disturbance while drinking the tea. But the author says to enhance the flavor of the tea, we should stir or shake the tea. Rule number 8. Breakfast cup, big cup. See, the picture will explain you in what kind of cups that we have to use for drinking tea. This is called breakfast cup. Over here, the author advises that people to drink tea in a good breakfast cup and not in a flat, shallow one. It could fill our stomach when we drink tea in breakfast cup. So he suggests the people to drink tea in breakfast cup, flat cylindrical cup, not in swallow or flat cup. Rule number 9. Cream of the milk. Yes, the cream should be removed from the milk before it is poured into the tea, because creamy milk gives the tea a very sticky taste. Many people don't like tea with cream, and it would give sticky taste. So the author says that people should remove cream off the milk in order to have a good taste of the tea. Rule number 10. One should pour tea into the cup first. This is one of the most controversial points of all, whether milk should be poured first or the tea. The author believes that the tea should be poured first, because then the drinker can regulate the amount of milk in the tea. So that one should pour tea into the cup first. The another controversial points of Churchwell among his 11 golden rules: tea without sugar. If you ask me, I never take tea without sugar. I would like to drink, I like to drink tea for the taste of sugar which is stirred in the tea. So the author says here, tea should be taken without sugar. he strictly prohibits people from putting sugar in the tea. He thinks that if sugar is put in the tea, the true taste of the tea is destroyed. Of course, we cannot enjoy or enhance the flavor of the tea. Only we can taste the, we can have the taste of sugar alone. So, the author says we should avoid using sugar. If you have the habit of drinking tea without sugar for 1 or 2 weeks, after the weeks, you will like to have tea without sugar. That's what the truth. From the, it is the opinion of the author. So, he says the people that they have to take tea without sugar. But it is being one of the most controversial points among the 11 golden rules. Anyhow, all these 11 points is about the opinion of the author making a nice cup of tea. So finally, what we come to know, strictly speaking, tea is not a meal at all, but a suitable occasion for social intercourse when people often come in for a chat over their cup of tea. So students, I think have learnt how to prepare a nice cup of tea. So in your free time, try to prepare a nice cup of tea according to the points of the author Churchwell, or what do you like to add more in your preparing nice cup of tea. It's up to you, but you have tried to prepare a nice cup of tea and have a nice cup of tea by one. Thank you.